Have you ever felt like something inside you is constantly at war? That sensation of struggling against parts of yourself you find hard to accept? Maybe it's that anger that flares up when you least expect it, that sadness you push down, or those desires that embarrass you. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. What you're facing is your shadow, a fascinating concept explored deeply by Carl Jung, one of history's most brilliant psychologists. Think about it for a moment. How much energy do you spend daily trying to hide those parts of yourself you deem unacceptable? Have you ever wondered what would happen if you could integrate them instead of fighting them? Today, we're embarking on a transformative journey towards shadow integration, a process Jung considered essential for living a full, authentic life. In Jungian terms, the shadow isn't just the negative within us. It's everything we've repressed, denied, or rejected because it doesn't fit the image we want to project to the world. These are the parts we've buried deep in our unconscious because, at some point, we learned they weren't acceptable. But here's the paradox. The more we try to reject our shadow, the more power it has over us. Jung said, "What you resist submits you. What you accept transforms you." This phrase holds a profound truth about human nature. When we deny aspects of ourselves, they don't vanish. They sink into our unconscious and steer our behavior in ways we don't even notice. It's like trying to hold a ball underwater. It takes constant effort, and sooner or later, it shoots to the surface, often in destructive ways. Imagine you've spent your life suppressing anger because you grew up in a place where expressing it wasn't okay. Maybe you were told good people don't get mad, or that showing anger was a sign of weakness. So you learned to smile when inside you were boiling, to say it's fine when you wanted to scream no. This repression doesn't erase the anger. It transforms it. It might show up as depression, physical illness, or explode at the worst times, aimed at people who aren't even the real cause. This is just one example of how the shadow works, but it applies to any emotion, desire, or trait you've pushed down. Maybe it's your vulnerability, your sensuality, your ambition, or even your talents. Yes, sometimes we repress the best in us too, because we learn shining too brightly might threaten others or draw unwanted attention. Integrating the shadow isn't easy. It takes courage to look inside and acknowledge what we've denied for so long. But it's worth it. When we start accepting our wholeness, we feel a deep release. The energy we once spent hiding becomes available to create, to love, to live fully. Jung called this process individuation, the path to psychic wholeness. It's not about erasing the dark parts of our personality, but recognizing we're complex beings with both light and darkness, and both are needed for our completeness. It's like an ecosystem. It needs day and night, rain and sun, to thrive. So how do we start this journey? The first step is self-awareness. Jung said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams? Who looks inside awakens? This awakening begins with honest observation of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Notice your strong reactions to others. Those people who irritate you intensely or spark instant dislike for no clear reason, they're often mirrors of your shadow. What bothers us most in others is often what we don't want to see in ourselves. Jung called this projection, and it's a powerful tool to uncover our shadow. If you judge someone harshly for being selfish, ask, where's my own hidden selfishness? If someone's emotions annoy you, wonder, what feelings am I suppressing? Dreams are another path to the shadow. Jung saw them as direct messages from the unconscious. In your dreams, notice figures that scare, disgust, or unsettle you. They represent shadow aspects your conscious mind rejects. Keeping a dream journal, writing what you recall upon waking and reflecting on its meaning, can help. Meditation and contemplation are valuable too. In silence, when we let thoughts arise without judgment, parts of ourselves we've ignored often surface. Jung practiced active imagination, letting images and stories emerge spontaneously from his unconscious. This can reveal personal symbols and archetypes tied to our shadow. A powerful exercise is to write a letter from your shadow. Imagine that repressed part of you could speak. What would it say? What does it need? Why has it stayed hidden? Often you'll find your shadow isn't the monster you feared, but a wounded part craving to be heard. Integrating the shadow doesn't mean acting on every impulse. It's not about unleashing every aggressive or selfish urge. It's about recognizing those impulses, understanding their roots, and channeling them constructively. For example, repressed anger can become healthy assertiveness, the ability to set clear boundaries. Denied ambition can turn into the drive to pursue your true dreams. Jung noted, there is no light without shadow and no psychic wholeness without imperfection. Before moving on, I'll mention my book is available, full of tips and techniques to overcome emotional blocks and love yourself more. Find the link in the description and pinned comment. This phrase reminds us perfection isn't the goal. In fact, our obsessive chase for perfection often leads us to reject parts of ourselves. True wholeness includes our flaws, wounds, and contradictions. It's in this acceptance we find freedom. As you progress on this path of self-discovery, you'll notice profound shifts. Relationships become more authentic because you stop unconsciously projecting your shadow onto others. Creativity blooms because you tap into all your psychic energy, not just the acceptable parts. And perhaps, most importantly, you feel an inner peace from no longer warring with yourself. Shadow integration also impacts how we relate to others. When we repress parts of ourselves, we inevitably project them onto people. You see someone acting selfishly and feel outsized irritation. Why? Because you've buried your own selfishness and can't stand seeing it reflected. This creates distorted relationships based not on who others truly are, but on our projections. By integrating our shadow, we see others more clearly. They no longer need to be scapegoats for what we reject in ourselves, opening the door to genuine connections based on mutual acceptance. Jung said meeting another person is like a chemical encounter. If there's a reaction, both are transformed. But this transformation is only positive when we show up as whole beings, with our light and shadow. Think of your closest relationships. Do patterns repeat? Are you drawn to people who disappoint you the same way again and again? Or do you sabotage bonds when they deepen? These patterns often stem from an unintegrated shadow playing out in your relationships. Shadow integration is also vital for our relationship with ourselves. Many suffer from relentless self-criticism, a harsh inner judge never satisfied with their achievements. This judge is often a shadow manifestation, reflecting an impossible perfection standard we adopted, perhaps to win approval in childhood. By recognizing and dialoguing with this judge, we can free ourselves from its tyranny, not silencing it entirely. Some self-criticism is useful, but turning its voice from a cruel dictator into a wise mentor guiding us with firmness and compassion. Jung strongly believed in symbols and rituals for shadow work. Symbols speak directly to our unconscious, bypassing rational limits. A simple ritual can powerfully acknowledge and honor shadow aspects. You might create a small altar with objects symbolizing parts of yourself you've rejected, or write letters to your shadow and burn them as a release. Some find working with clay or paint helpful, letting their hands shape what the unconscious wants to express. These symbolic acts can spark deep transformations the conscious mind alone can't achieve. Shadow work isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Jung saw life as a constant journey of self-discovery and transformation. As we integrate some shadow aspects, others may emerge. It's like peeling an onion. Each layer takes us deeper into our true self. This work isn't something we must face entirely alone. While personal introspection is key, support from a therapist, mentor, or trusted group can be invaluable. Jung worked with patients not as an expert curing a disorder, but as a fellow traveler toward wholeness. Sometimes we need another conscious soul's mirror to see what we can't on our own. Shadow integration isn't a psychological luxury. It's a vital need. Jung observed how unacknowledged collective shadows could fuel destructive social phenomena. When a society represses impulses or traits, they emerge warped, often violently or inhumanely. We see this in extremism, prejudice, and dehumanization. By doing our personal shadow work, we contribute to collective healing. Each person reconciling their wholeness adds light to collective consciousness, an act of responsibility to ourselves and the world. But what happens when we start integrating our shadow? The benefits are profound and multifaceted. One immediate gain is energy liberation. Repressing parts of ourselves takes huge psychic effort, like holding multiple balls underwater. When we stop fighting and begin integrating, that energy frees up. Many describe a lightness, a renewed vitality. Creativity flourishes too. Jung saw a direct link between accessing the unconscious, where the shadow lives, and creative potential. When we connect with all our dimensions, including the repressed, we tap into a wealth of symbols, emotions, and insights that fuel creative expression. Authenticity is another gift. When we no longer need to show only our good side, when we accept our complexity, we experience deep liberation. We can show the world who we are, unmasked. This authenticity draws genuine relationships and opportunities aligned with our true self. Jung spoke of synchronicity, meaningful moments when outer events mirror our inner state. As we integrate our shadow, these magical coincidences often increase, as if the universe responds to our growing wholeness, bridging our inner and outer worlds. One of the greatest gifts is compassion. Facing our shadows, accepting our flaws, fosters deep compassion for others. We no longer need to harshly judge their failings because we've learned not to judge ours so brutally. This compassion extends even to those who've hurt us, as we realize their actions, like ours, are shaped by unrecognized shadows. But let's be clear, integrating the shadow isn't easy. Facing long-avoided parts of ourselves can be intensely uncomfortable, even scary. You might encounter powerful emotions, painful memories, or aspects that initially feel unacceptable. This is when many quit, preferring denial's comfort over truth's discomfort. But Jung reminds us, there is no birth of consciousness without pain. This pain is transformation's price, the fire needed to forge an integrated personality. And as many discover, the discomfort is temporary, while integration's benefits endure. The shadow isn't just negative. Jung stressed we also repress positive qualities, potential, and talents. Maybe you grew up where standing out was seen as arrogant, so you downplayed your achievements. Or your sensitivity was mocked, so you hid it. Shadow work includes reclaiming these buried gifts, letting yourself shine fully. This gold in the shadow, as some Jungians call it, is one of the process's most rewarding finds. People who felt inadequate or incomplete their whole lives uncover talents, passions, and abilities they'd buried deep. It's like finding treasure in your own basement, always there, waiting to be claimed. The path to shadow integration isn't linear. There'll be moments of clarity and revelation, followed by confusion or resistance. This back and forth rhythm is natural. Jung likened it to a spiral. We revisit themes, but at deeper levels of understanding. The key is staying committed, trusting the process even when progress feels stalled. A core Jungian idea is the tension of opposites. He believed the psyche holds polarities, conscious and unconscious, persona and shadow, anima and animus. Psychological health isn't about erasing these, but holding them in dynamic tension, letting a third thing emerge, a synthesis transcending opposites. With the shadow, this means not letting our light eliminate our darkness or our darkness swallow our light. Instead, we hold both in awareness, letting their interplay create something new. An integrated personality expressing strength and vulnerability, assertiveness and receptivity, structure and spontaneity. This ability to hold opposites is what Jung called the psyche's transcendent function, one of humanity's greatest achievements. Shadow integration is a crucial step toward it. When we embrace our complexity, when we stop splitting ourselves into good and bad, we experience freedom and creativity beyond those limiting labels. Wondering where to start? The good news is you don't need complex tools or esoteric knowledge. It begins with a simple, powerful choice: to look at yourself with honesty and compassion. Start by noticing intense emotional reactions. When something or someone triggers a disproportionate response, anger, disgust, fear, or even excessive admiration, ask, what's this touching in me? What part of myself am I projecting here? Watch for recurring patterns. If you keep landing in similar situations, relationships that fail the same way, jobs that frustrate for the same reasons, your shadow is trying to teach you something. These patterns are like sticky notes from your unconscious saying, look here, something important needs seeing. Listen to your dreams. Before sleep, ask your unconscious to show you shadow aspects. Keep a notebook by your bed to jot down images or stories you recall upon waking. Over time, you'll spot patterns and personal symbols guiding you to deeper understanding. Explore your biases and judgments. When you catch yourself harshly judging someone, use it as a chance to look within. Judgments are often shadow projections. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but you can use your reaction as a self-awareness mirror. Consider working with a Jungian therapist or coach familiar with these concepts. A skilled guide can make the process safer and more effective, especially if your shadow holds traumatic or tough material. Remember, shadow integration isn't a destination, but an ongoing journey. It's not about fixing something broken, but embracing more of your wholeness. There's no finish line where you say, I've fully integrated my shadow. It's a continuous expansion of consciousness, of growing self-acceptance. Jung believed this journey of individuation, integrating the shadow and all our parts, is life's purpose. We're not here mainly to amass wealth, gain status, or even be happy in a shallow sense. We're here to become fully who we are, to realize the unique potential each of us brings. This purpose transcends conventional success or failure. You can have all the outer trappings of success, yet be deeply disconnected from your true self. Or you can lack grand material achievements, but have done the brave work of facing your shadow, integrating your fragments, and walking toward wholeness. True wealth, per Jung, is inner richness, the peace of self-reconciliation, not wasting energy on repression or denial. It's the creativity when all your parts work in harmony. It's the wisdom from facing your darkness and finding it holds priceless treasures. This path to wholeness isn't just personal. Jung saw a direct link between individual individuation and collective consciousness's evolution. Each person doing this brave shadow work aids the world's healing, like lighting a candle in a dark room, helping others find their way. Practically, how does shadow integration affect daily life? People often report better relationships. By not projecting their shadow onto others, they see people as they are, undistorted, leading to truer, more satisfying connections. Decision-making transforms too. In touch with all of yourself, your choices come from a fuller view, not driven unconsciously by repressed fears or desires, but made clearly from your wholeness. Physical health can improve. Jung, like many modern psychologists, recognized the mind-body link. Energy blocked by repression often manifests in physical symptoms. Freeing it through shadow integration can ease chronic conditions or boost overall well-being. Resilience to life's challenges grows. Having faced your own darkness, outer difficulties feel less overwhelming. You build deep trust in your ability to navigate the unknown, to face the unexpected, what Jung called courage for life. Perhaps the most precious gift is the capacity for genuine awe and joy. Paradoxically, accepting our dark parts expands our ability to experience light. Integrating the shadow frees us to feel joy, wonder, and appreciation for beauty in all forms. Jung believed each of us has a unique destiny, a specific purpose only we can fulfill. But to find it, we must first dare to see all of ourselves with honesty and compassion. Shadow integration isn't just psychological, it's a spiritual journey toward realizing our highest potential. Reflecting on your path, recall Jung's words, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to be." Shadow integration is this conscious choice to see all your parts, to embrace rather than reject them, to walk toward wholeness even when it's hard. Ready for your next step? It might be as simple as a moment of honesty, acknowledging a repressed emotion or desire, or maybe it's choosing to seek support, to share this journey with others doing the work. Whatever it is, you're not alone. Countless brave souls have walked this path before, and many will after. Shadow integration isn't just an abstract concept. It's an invitation to a richer, fuller, more authentic life. It's a call to courage, honesty, and ultimately love. Not sentimental love that only accepts the pretty but true love that embraces wholeness with all its complexities and contradictions. Jung left us a profound legacy of wisdom, still relevant, urgent even, in today's polarized, fragmented world. His vision of individual integration as a path to collective healing offers powerful hope. The invitation is open. The path to integrating your shadow to a full and authentic life is here now. You don't need special credentials or perfect conditions, just the courage to look within, embrace what you find, and let that acceptance transform you. What shadow aspect are you ready to recognize and embrace today? What small step can you take toward wholeness? 1,000-mile journey starts with one step, and that step is possible right now. If this resonated, I'd love to hear how you're experiencing your own shadow integration journey. Share an insight or reflection this sparked in the comments. Your experience might be just what someone else in this community needs. If you think someone in your life could benefit, share this with them. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is a new lens to understand their experience, a perspective to light their way. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos on deep psychology, personal growth, and the journey to authenticity. We're building a community committed to growth, truth, and wholeness. Thanks for sharing this space with me. Remember, the shadow isn't your enemy. It's part of the path to your fullness. And on that path, you're never alone. See you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring the depths of who we are and the incredible potential awaiting when we dare to see ourselves fully. Jung left us a profound legacy of wisdom, still relevant, urgent even, in today's polarized, fragmented world. His vision of individual integration as a path to collective healing offers powerful hope. The invitation is open. The path to integrating your shadow to a full and authentic life is here now. You don't need special credentials or perfect conditions, just the courage to look within, embrace what you find, and let that acceptance transform you. What shadow aspect are you ready to recognize and embrace today? What small step can you take toward wholeness? 1,000-mile journey starts with one step, and that step is possible right now. If this resonated, I'd love to hear how you're experiencing your own shadow integration journey. Share an insight or reflection this sparked in the comments. Your experience might be just what someone else in this community needs. If you think someone in your life could benefit, share this with them. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is a new lens to understand their experience, a perspective to light their way. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos on deep psychology, personal growth, and the journey to authenticity. We're building a community committed to growth, truth, and wholeness. Thanks for sharing this space with me. Remember, the shadow isn't your enemy. It's part of the path to your fullness. And on that path, you're never alone. See you in the next video, where we'll keep exploring the depths of who we are and the incredible potential awaiting when we dare to see ourselves fully.